gentlemen, as the politics of this country takes yet another turn, I am today joined by a very distinguished, eminent, and popular panel. Popular because they all represent their Lok Sabha constituencies. Lakhs and lakhs of people have voted them to power this time. They're all first-term MPs, and I'm also joined by my senior colleague, Maria Shakil.
Thank you, Nikunj. And yes, we are standing right in front of the old Parliament of India. And as the 18th Lok Sabha takes shape, these are the MPs who will be setting the agenda. And that's why Nikunj and I have decided to set the agenda for you, the viewer, because they will be talking about what matters to them and what matters to their constituents.
Absolutely. To my right, in fact, all of them are to my right, Dr. Ricky from Shillong, representing Northeast here. Next, to his right, to the right of is Mr. Keshanani from Telugu Desam Party, which is now part of the government. Dr. C.M. Ramesh, first time in Lok Sabha, but previously two-term member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha.
Yes.
From SP, Dr. Rajiv Rai, and from Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, Shiv Sena, Mr. Patil. To his next is the man from the mountains, mountains which have seen unprecedentedly high voting percentage this time. And to his right is then Arun Nehru, very interesting name, representing a party and an alliance that actually swept, despite many other expectations, has swept the entire Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Gentlemen, welcome to NDTV. And if I can request all of you to give your opening remarks about what is your agenda for the new Lok Sabha.
Well, thank you so much. What a joy, what an honor, and what a privilege for me. I thank God and praise God for giving me and also the party, which is a very young party, the Voice of the People Party, which just started less than 3 years ago. And it was really, the work of God, I would say, to defeat the party which is in government. And so we have a number of agenda, to present before the country. Agenda like coming from a state which is a small state, and a state where most of the people are indigenous people, and where we really need to be protected, in this big ocean. And we as a party, we believe that a nation like us, which is so diverse, and yet in spite of this diversity, we are proud that India is one.
Dr. Shivanath, Mr. Shivanath Keshanani, and diversity, respect diversity is the message from our friend from Shillong.
Thank you for calling me. I am the first time parliamentarian, and this is my first interview in New Delhi. And thank you for giving me.
To have you on NDTV.
Thank you very much. And I am very much thankful to the people of my constituency for putting me over here, and to my leader Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and to our alliance partners for making me to sit in the 18th Parliament. So first of all, I thank all of them. And regarding our problems and our state, in the country, the only state which doesn't have a capital that is Andhra Pradesh. So our main motto is to have our dream capital Amaravati, and we are the part of NDA, and we thank our Honorable Modi ji for aligning with us with NDA, and we want to support NDA. And as people very well know, Chandrababu Naidu is a very good aligned partner. Previously we aligned, we have 3 aligned with NDA. So we are never a...
And someone who helped you return to NDA is Mr. C.M. Ramesh.
Yeah, C.M. Ramesh.
Formerly with TDP and now with BJP. You are one of the architects of this alliance, the return of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu to the BJP fold. NDA he left in 2018, he is back. Tell me about yourself. You are now in the Lok Sabha.
Mr. Keshanani was making a point, finish that point about
Naidu
being very dependable partner. He says
we are a dependable partner, and we are with NDA, and this NDA without any trouble, this NDA will run with full term. And our main motto is to get financial assistance for our state, which is we are in a very bad shape, and we have assembly elections also, and the complete state was swept by NDA alliance. So we want mainly our financial status of state is very bad. Want mainly the financial assistance from the central government to improve the financial status of our state.
Mr. CM Ramesh, I have not really asked him about the speaker's post, because one issue which is actually doing the rounds in Delhi circles is, has the TDP demanded the speaker's chair?
No, we are not demanding anything. We haven't demanded cabinet, or we haven't demanded the portfolios also. We have given all the choices to Prime Minister Modi ji, because he knows very well to whom to place where. So we are like NDA partners. Before elections also we are an NDA partner. So we are not making any demands. Our demands are only financial status of the state.
Not putting any sword onto the government's
Particularly
temple,
for the speaker's
particularly
chair.
for the
speaker's chair.
Not at
CM
all, no
Ramesh,
demands.
you know, the point here is that treasury benches, the number is relatively not that strong. If you're not at 303 that you used to be in 17th Lok Sabha, or little less in 16th Lok Sabha, you are at a reduced number. Is the treasury bench ready to travel that extra mile to ensure that the opposition is on board on most of the legislations?
Thanks to NDTV about this program. I came all the way from Vijayawada to attend this program, because first of all I had to thanks to my party President JP Nadda ji selected me, and next thanks to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and important party has selected me, and Anakapalli people has elected me with a 3 lakhs majority. And you see, in Anakapalli constituency, there are more than 10% first-time voters, young voters. They all voted me because that is an industrial area. Lot of unemployment is there. Now I had to get this much industrial to industries that area. People are expecting me. And about the politics, now this is the NDA 3. NDA 3, mainly our focus is Viksit Bharat. And in short period, we had to bring our world, in the world, third rank to the India in the economy. And also, one side poverty eradication, other side good governance and industrial improvement, infrastructure development. So many issues are there. You talked about the numbers. What happened in the Article 370? Parties are different. On that time, there is no such a number in Rajya Sabha. How all the parties, when we are doing good things for the nation, automatically parties will think and parties will vote for any good for the country.
राजीव राय जी, आपकी पार्टी ने कुछ लोग कहेंगे एक तरह से कमाल कर दिया, किसी को उम्मीद नहीं थी ऐसी परफॉर्मेंस कर दी। अब आप आए हैं लोगों का इतना बड़ा मैंडेट लेके हिंदुस्तान के दिल से जिसको कहा जाता है कि लखनऊ के बिना यहाँ सरकार बनती नहीं, इस बार भी वैसे ही काम कुछ हो गया था। तो क्या है आपकी पार्टी की मेन एजेंडा पॉइंट, और क्या है आपकी पार्टी की मेन डिमांड जो कि आप चाहेंगे कि सरकार पूरा करे उत्तर प्रदेश के लिए और बाहर के लिए?
पहले तो NDTV को धन्यवाद. I am here because of but you united me on very short notice, and my sincere thanks to my voters there, in particularly my constituency, and to the UP voters also. ये आपके लिए आश्चर्य करने वाला होगा, जो लोग मीडिया में बैठे हैं उनके लिए आश्चर्य करने वाला होगा, जो ओपिनियन पोल और एग्जिट पोल की दुकान चलाते हैं, आई एम सॉरी टू मेक दिस स्टेटमेंट बट दिस इज वेरी हार्श ट्रूथ, उनके लिए होगा. बट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस रिजल्ट. In fact, it is sort of 5 to 7 seats what we were expecting, and every seat which we expected we won. So ये दिल्ली वालों के लिए होगा जो गांव में लोग रहते हैं, and particularly my constituency, I describe बदहाल बुनकर, बेहाल किसान और बेरोजगार नौजवान. You know, you'll feel surprised. In my constituency, last 25 years, voters have not seen their member parliament. Even if I ask you, who all were the last 5 MPs, you will not be able to tell. You can't recollect their name. The gentleman who was the last time elected is in jail for last 5 years, and all other 4. So the Ghosi constituency, the Mau district in particular, was created by late Kalpanath Rai, Vikas Purush. And after Kalpanath Rai, you know, we have a history. Right from the first parliament, 1952, पंडित अलगू राय शास्त्री टिल कल्पनाथ राय, जो भी हमारा सांसद होता था देश का नेता होता था. और लास्ट 25 सालों में आपको यकीन नहीं होगा, जब मैं जीतने के बाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में जगह जगह जा रहा हूँ, कई जनरेशन पहली बार अपने एमपी को देख रहे हैं. मैंने आज पोस्ट भी किया है, हमने तो अपने एमपी को ही नहीं देखा है. सो आई हैव बिगर चैलेंज टू. यूपी स्टेट है सच तो यही है। आज आप लोग नेट पेपर की लीक की बात कर रहे हैं, एंड वी आर फेसिंग दैट क्राइसिस फ्रॉम द डे वन। लास्ट 5 years almost all the papers for the job which were conducted under UP government, सारे पेपर लीक हो गए। हमारे यहाँ कहते पेपर लीक बा बाकी कुल ठीक बा। सो आई मीन दैट इज द।
सो राजीव राय जी, ये बात सही है कि आप लोग क्योंकि आपकी संख्या ज्यादा है तो अपनी आवाज बहुत ही बुलंदी से उठाएंगे, लेकिन कितना यूनाइटेड इंडिया दिखेगा उस पर भी सवाल है। इसीलिए मैं अब आपके जो बगल में उनसे सवाल पूछूंगी कि इंडिया ब्लॉक
जवाब दे लीजिए।
चलिए आप
जवाब दे लीजिए कंप्लीट। मेरा जो चैलेंज मेरी कंस्टिट्यूंसी के लिए है कि 25 सालों से वहीं खड़ी है। हमारे यहाँ इंडस्ट्री, जेंटलमैन वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट द इंडस्ट्री, बट अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, वी डोंट हैव इंडस्ट्री ओनली, वी डोंट हैव सेंटर फॉर हायर एजुकेशन, रोड्स आर इन पैथेटिक कंडीशन, हेल्थ सर्विसेज आर एट द वर्स्ट। तो हमारे लिए तो बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंज है। उसको कंप्लीट करने के बाद इनको देने से पहले बता दूं कि जो स्पेकुलेशन आप लोग पहले दिन से कर रहे हैं इंडिया कितना यूनाइटेड है, इंडिया इतना गठबंधन इतना यूनाइटेड होगा कि ये सरकार 5 साल तक नहीं चल पाएगी।
That's also a big news point. Opposition thinks that, you know, they can put the government on the mat. Yeah. We haven't heard the government, but opposition certainly thinks so.
Patil Saab, the question really is that these numbers came as a surprise for the India bloc. महाराष्ट्र में जिस तरह के नंबर्स आए वो आप लोग सबके लिए काफी सरप्राइजिंग थे, लेकिन गुड न्यूज था। ये बिल्डअप हो रहा है, 3 महीने में चुनाव होने वाला है। तो आपके लिए सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा क्या होगा इस बार पार्लियामेंट में?
जी, thank you for choosing me to NDTV today. I really thanks for every colleagues here from NDTV, and I also thanks to my party president Mr. Uddhav Thackeray to choosing me as a candidate from Hingoli, and I really appreciate and very thanks to my all constituencies common people who have elected me. And I really want to appreciate them and thanks to them on behalf of you, okay? And जैसा कि आपने मुझे पूछा है कि आगे हम 3 महीने में कैसे जाएंगे, तो वी आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट और बहुत अच्छे से हम उद्धव ठाकरे साहब के नेतृत्व में और पूरे अलायंस के साथ में बहुत अच्छी तरह से चल रहे हैं। जो लोगों की डिमांड है, जो जिस तरह का विकास होना चाहिए था वो नहीं हुआ है। खासकर रूरल एरियाज़ में अभी भी एजुकेशन का मैटर है, फार्मिंग का है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का है, बहुत बड़ा इशू है, जो कि बता तो रहा है कि बहुत ग्रोइंग हो रहा है इंडिया, लेकिन वो तो कॉमन पीपल को तो दिख रहा नहीं है। तो इसलिए मुझे अभी जब यहाँ पे पार्लियामेंट में भेजा गया तो मैं उसके हिसाब से आई विल ट्राई माई लेवल बेस्ट to do something for my common people, for behalf of the education, for unemployment and farmers, and which are the really small things that is very needed to villages people, rural peoples. So I hope I am here on behalf of them to represent them, and the represent of common people, represent them of who are in rural areas.
It's a very nice thought. He says, you know, that he is on the behalf of people here, and it's a common thread I see in all of you. It's so heartening to say a lot of people criticize the politicians. Media, we also are sometimes guilty of excessive criticism of politicians, but it is one thing is very heartening to see that each one of you actually genuinely wants to work for the people who genuinely need development. Agha Saeed, Rahul, my next question to you. What are the special needs of that special state of ours, Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, thank you so much for the question, because you mentioned the word special. I wish this country and this government for the last 10 years realized this fact, that we needed to respect that word when it came to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I have come with a mandate to this place, and I thank my constituents for that. They have given me a huge responsibility to remind through this parliament the rest of India that India used to be a democracy, and it's time to be a fully functional democracy again. Because what we experienced in Jammu and Kashmir is no way closer to democracy. It's not how we expected India to behave. For the last 10
You are
years,
also part of India. Let's accept that.
I'm saying the rest of India.
Okay, rest of India.
So this is not how we expected this nation, this establishment, this nation, this idea of union, the identity that we had or that we have. We didn't expect it to behave the way it behaved, and it continues to behave. And not only about the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I have a mandate to remind the parliament, the government, the people of rest of India that the minorities are equal part of this country. The minorities have equal rights. They have to have the respect that every individual should feel in this country. I want to remind that Dalits are equal part of this country, and they are equal part of human race. They cannot be, subjugated, they cannot be marginalized the way they are being marginalized. I have come with a mandate to remind this country that the dignity of the peoples living in different states should be paramount. And while I don't have the mandate to speak for other states, I have the mandate to speak for my state. The dignity was snatched. The dignity that's under question. We have an existential crisis, and I call it that our existence is under question. The basic principles on which we acceded to the Union of India, and we were glad to accede to Union of India, was dignity and democracy. Was a right to be the masters of our own destiny. Everyone has that right. India is a union of different shades, from south to northeast to north. India is a union of different shades, and this country has somehow managed to remind this government that you need to respect that. So this is the basic idea that I have come up with to New Delhi. Hopefully I'll fulfill these responsibilities. I have to speak about development, I have to speak about many other issues, but that will follow during the course of my service in
Last but not the least, our friend from Tamil Nadu, Mr. Nehru. Very interesting name, very young man, one with a massive mandate. What do you think, the south of India is thinking this time, and what is it that the Tamil Nadu specifically wants from the new parliament?
First, I must convey my heartfelt thanks for giving me this opportunity. Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Stalin, who trusted nobody to come and stand in front of the greatest institutions of this country and talk on behalf of the 15 lakh people of my constituency, Perambalur constituency, right? And the biggest part of the campaign was also Sports and Youth Development Minister, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin too. So they are the reasons, I as an individual can stand in front of cameras before the great institutions that made this country and convey my views, right? So Tamil Nadu has very clearly humbled many great people, and this election is about humbling and bringing home the truth that India is a diverse set of states, and the diverse set of states actually strengthen the union rather than the opinion that was there in the last 10 years, right? So what do we stand for? We stand for two very important issues. We stand for socially progressive ideas and schemes, and we also stand for cooperative federalism, right? What are these two ideas talking about? Socially progressive ideas. Point number one, right? NEET, an issue that's burning in the hearts and minds of Tamil people today. Why is it burning? It's because the resources that are being allocated and developed by the state is being unfairly taken away from a common man who's put in faith through the education system. Second, what are we talking about? Cooperative federalism. Whenever cooperative federalism comes, people think that certain states contribute more towards the development of the country, but we all beg to differ. Each state contributes its own strength to the Union of India, right? We contribute to industrial development and taxes. So what we are trying to tell to the Union is the faster that Tamil Nadu grows, the faster the nation grows. So we are here to voice, we are here as a voice of a common man who said, look, we as a union must work together. I think that this election is about telling the powers to be work together for the nation. And I think that voice is going to be heard very well in the coming sessions in the parliament.
And very beautiful message he says, it's a mandate for working together.
Yes. and mandate also to celebrate diversity. That is also a point that is coming. And the beauty of this panel, Nikunj, from south to the northeast to central India to south, to each and every part of India, we have representatives. But CM Ramesh, you have, Mr. Mehdi made an interesting point that yes, that record voter turnout should be celebrated because this is about democratic exercise winning in Jammu and Kashmir. But the point about democracy and its institutions and its functioning, do you think you'll have much to explain in the coming Lok Sabha?
As in the BJP, probably some people will say, Mr. Ramesh, that has not shown that kind of attitude where they were taking everyone along. That is what Mr. Mehdi says, that you people as the ruling party for last 1 decade probably somehow, somewhere forgot.
See, there are a lot of changes happening in this country. Previously, people are not able to visit Jammu Kashmir. After Article 370, in last Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, our Finance Minister, Home Minister has explained each and every sector, how the improvement is going on, how the development is happening in Jammu and Kashmir, how the industries are coming, how the employment is improving. Everywhere, each and every sector is happening. And you see, everywhere, different state, different issues were there. Suppose in my Andhra Pradesh, I had to thanks to Chandrababu Naidu and my leader Narendra Modi ji and Pawan Kalyan. You see the vote share difference. How much? 18%. Suppose my constituency, there is a 27.5% vote share difference. People, different issues. Okay, now we have to see first my priority is my constituency. After that, my state. Then nation. If nation is good, doing well, then the states also will do good, then the constituency will improve. Now such as small issues are there. In these 5 years, we will clear everything.
So what Mr. Ramesh says that, it is unfair criticism. Mr. Nehru there raises a point. Yeah, you want to say something.
Sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to answer Ramesh ji's particular point where he said it was difficult for people of different parts of the country to access Jammu and Kashmir. My experience, sir, I have been a biker, sir. I have been where I take my bikes to the 18,000 feet. I have been to below 2,000 feet with my bikes all over the place. And one of the most beautiful places on earth is still Jammu and Kashmir with unmatched hospitality, right? So I am here as a person outside the state, and I love this union, right? And Jammu and Kashmir is very much part of it. And I still want to emphasize that I have been there previously to 370 and I have been after 372. So for me, I did not face any resistance from the government employees or for the matter people. And people were the most welcoming, right? Why would they want to welcome? They welcomed because I was part of this country. So I just wanted to emphasize that point.
Mr. Ramesh probably is wanting to say that the fact that BJP did not take everyone along is probably not a justified criticism, is what he's wanting to say.
No, that's a justified criticism.
If you do any good things, always political criticism will be there.
So he says,
majority of the
things,
people,
political criticism will be there.
When they say that Mr. Modi and Amit Shah got up on the floor of the House and
he says,
cleared everything,
bad, political
everything is
there.
hunky-dory. That's a one-way propaganda. There has never been a genuine debate about the progress of Jammu and Kashmir before the abrogation of Article 370 and progress of Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of unconstitutional abrogation of Article 370. There has never been a debate. Jammu and Kashmir, the unemployment is at its highest. The flow of capital in the state is at its lowest. The infrastructural development, apart from few focused cosmetic areas with cosmetic approaches, I call them hotspots for their propaganda. Jammu and Kashmir, its rural areas, its nooks and corners, its townships and towns, the development is missing.
Okay.
And
we
the people of Jammu and Kashmir are not at the helm of affairs. We do not have the right to decide for ourselves. And we are taking the brunt of that.
But the Prime Minister has said that, the statehood will come soon.
So let's debate whether Jammu and Kashmir was it better off with 370?
That's a fair point. I agree.
Or is it going worse?
It's a valid point you make. It's a valid point you make. Rajiv Rai ji, मैं एक बात पूछना चाह रहा हूँ और डॉक्टर साहब से लेकर के अगर एंड तक हम जाएं, तो ये एक बात कॉमन थ्रेड है कि पूरे देश में, जैसे आपने भी कहा, पूरे देश में विकास की बड़ी ज़रूरत है और डेवलपमेंट ऐसा होना चाहिए जो आम आदमी तक नीचे जाए, जॉब्स हो, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। ये सरकार का अपना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में कहना है कि हमने काफ़ी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में काम किया और काफ़ी उनके क्रिटिक भी ये बात मानते हैं कि उन्होंने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में काम किया है। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि अगर पॉलिटिकल एक तरह से इस मसले पे, जॉब्स के मसले पे, बेरोजगारी के मुद्दे पे और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के मुद्दे पे एक यूनानिमिटी हो जाए, तो आप, चूंकि मैंने कहा हिंदुस्तान के दिल से आते हैं, आपको लगता है ये चीजें, इन चीजों पे काम करना, विल इट बी इजियर फॉर ऑल स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के मिलके, राज्यों के साथ में केंद्र सरकार का मिलके, क्या पॉलिटिकल यूनानिमिटी विल रिजल्ट इनटू एक्सेलरेटेड जॉब ग्रोथ?
ये तो होना ही चाहिए, दैट्स अ गुड आइडिया, बट द गवर्नमेंट विद दिस काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड, अभी मैं बता रहा हूँ, आप जॉब के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, मैं जहाँ से जीत के आया हूँ, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू नो और नॉट, पूर्वांचल की सबसे बड़ी जीत है, 1952 के बाद सबसे बड़ी मेरी जीत है, और प्राइम मिनिस्टर से भी बड़ी जीत है। दिस इज नॉट माई एरोगेंस बट दिस इज द फैक्ट। हाँ, नहीं, वो तो गवर्नमेंट के लिए नहीं है, हमारे आपके लिए हो सकता है। हमारे यहाँ मेन मुद्दा ये था जिसको आप कह रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट बोले हैं, हमारे यहाँ सड़कें बदहाल है, मैंने बताया ना, बदहाल बुनकर, बेहाल किसान, बेरोजगार नौजवान, सड़कें टूटी फूटी, अस्पताल नहीं, कोई एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं, और मेरे यहाँ से 3 मंत्री आते हैं। और अभी यू ऑल कवर्ड दैट लास्ट बाई इलेक्शन इन घोसी, वहाँ जितने सारे मिनिस्टर जाकर जिन रोडों को वादे कराए थे कि अभी बस कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट खत्म, ये हम बना देंगे, आर्डर पास हो गया है, वो आर्डर लोकसभा चुनाव तक अटका रह गया। तो what we see in TV, what the government speaks, that is not the reality. My friend, he was telling absolutely right. That might be the case with Jammu Kashmir and same is with us. हमारा जो पूर्वांचल है, thanks to our leadership under the Honorable Akhilesh Yadav ji, we are today third largest party in the parliament. क्यों मिला ये मैंडेट? जो हार्ट से क्यों बीजेपी हार गई? ना अयोध्या से बल्कि हारी, बल्कि अयोध्या में राम मंदिर निर्माण कमेटी के चेयरमैन के पुत्र भी चुनाव हार गए, ये भी फैक्ट है। हार गए, क्यों हार गए? अगर इतना डेवलपमेंट होता, इतने रोजगार होता, मैं तो अपनी कंस्टिट्यूंसी में कहीं भी जाता था तो पहला सवाल पूछता था वोटर से, पिछले 8 सालों में किसी को नौकरी मिली? जवाब आता था नहीं। 5 किलो राशन देकर अगर आप देश के विकास कहते हैं, आप कहते हैं कि दुनिया में डंका बज रहा है, जिस देश के 85 करोड़ लोग 5 किलो अनाज पर जिंदा हो, उस देश का डंका केवल प्रधानमंत्री जी बजवा सकते हैं।
लेकिन अजीब राय जी, आपने जो बोला कि अयोध्या की अगर बात करें, वो तो आप लोग सबके लिए सरप्राइज था, सब लोगों के लिए सरप्राइज था, आपके लिए भी सरप्राइज था,
हमारे लिए नहीं था। मैं फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूं,
वहाँ पे कास्ट फैक्टर्स है, पूरे पूर्वांचल में कास्ट के बेसिस पर वोट भी होता है। तो अगर हम लोग डेवलपमेंट और कास्ट दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन शायद भाजपा नहीं करा पाई, अब ये मान लीजिए।
अब ये नहीं, सबसे ज्यादा कास्टिस्ट पार्टी तो भाजपा है। हमारे ओम प्रकाश राजभर, हमारे यहाँ सबसे ज्यादा, राजभर को टिकट देने का क्या मतलब है? अलायंस का क्या मतलब था? कास्ट की लेके आया ना, तो ना कास्ट उनके साथ रहा। क्योंकि मैं एक सवाल बता रहा हूँ, जब पेपर लीक होता है ना, तो केवल समाजवादी पार्टी, कांग्रेस और भाजपा का नहीं होता है, अपर कास्ट, बैकवर्ड कास्ट का नहीं होता है, हिंदू और मुसलमान का नहीं होता है। जिसके घरों में लड़के बेरोजगार हैं, माँ बाप बूढ़े हो रहे हैं, नौकरी की उम्र चली गई 8 सालों में, वो
this concern of unemployment, it's almost like a pan-India sense, right? So just about everyone seems to be saying, all the MPs are talking about it. What is the solution then? Do MPs have to work with the state government and also with the center to ensure that the jobs are created?
I'm very happy that Maria has brought that point about solutions, because one of the idea of having you all here and having you all in the parliament is solutions to be put forward, and I'm quite sure that with the change numbers, all those solutions government will also consider more respectfully.
Yeah, I mean that's a point. I think that the whole nation, especially the youth, which is potential, for the future. We have more than 60% of our population who are youth, and especially even the northeast, where this is a big problem, the unemployment problem, not only Meghalaya but the entire northeast and also the country as a whole. Well, what I would say is that we are here, many of us are first-time MPs, and what I see is this, that I think we should keep aside some of our political ideology, our political differences, and we should look at what is the problem. And I think that all 543 of us, we are responsible to each and every, each and every person in this great country of ours. And so what I feel is that it is, it's high time that we put the people first. As I always say, when people elected us, we are elected, to serve those people who have elected us. In other words, we are here not to be served, but to serve. And I think if we have that kind of, mindset where we are here to serve and to serve to the best of our ability, and I'm sure that we can really take, the nation to greater heights.
Mr. Keshani, this will be a criticism again that will come to you also now, because you are part of the NDA alliance and people will say that BJP has not treated its partners or given opposition the respect, etc., etc. But as doctor says, the good doctor says, that if we keep our political differences aside, important point to talk about is jobs, infrastructure, future of our youth. How do you think that you all, first of all in the parliament, and you all with the government can make a difference? What do you think our people's representatives should do now? Because see, all of us can agree to the fact that job crisis has been one of the defining feature of these elections. People have spoken and people have said that there are no jobs for youth and we need an answer to this. What do you think can be the way forward?
Actually, the main matters is the job for the people. There are a lot of problems. The major problem is jobs. Actually, we are all new to the parliament and we are a nation. We want to work together for the nation and we want all of us to support the government in getting jobs and development of the country. So I humbly request all the people of the parliament to support the government in making the prospective India and the development of India. We should not criticize. Regarding politics may play a lot of role, but putting aside politics, we need development for the country.
You have Mr. Rajiv Rai smiling.
And ours is let me finish. Ours is a federal system. So Central also has to take one more step to talk with the states and to support the states. And we should come in and unite on the 18th Parliament. My feeling is the 18th Parliament should give a country a message that this Parliament is working for the development of our nation.
Can I come here?
Yes.
Good. Can I come here just to one point? Well, we've been talking about development. We've had policies after policies, which are all, of course, in paper, in principle, it's always good. What I always believed is that you may have, the best of people, to come up with a policy for, for every sector. But then, at the time of implementing that policy, if it is not led by some moral and ethical values, I say that nothing will come,
Okay,
so it emphasizes on the point that moral and ethical values are very important.
This is very important. And look at corruption.
My sense is that ethics are now being spoken about a lot. Dr. Ramesh, you want to make a point about job creation, collaboration, and how center and states work together.
Definitely. See, there is an issue of unemployment. I've seen in my constituency. Any development for infrastructure should be good infrastructure and industry should come. For these two, good atmosphere should be there and power should be cheap. Now what India is till now, we are importing energy, we are spending about 200 billion. Our all foreign reserves going for buying the oil, gas, coal and other batteries and all. Now policy has come. Government of India, our Prime Minister has made the policy. We have to use more renewables. Now pump storages are coming and hydrogen, a lot of plants are coming. Once this 200 billion will stop, our own Make in India, we have to generate the hydrogen, we have to maximum take from renewables and export the hydrogen. Now we are the first country exporting hydrogen shortly. Then only in China, comparatively China and India, their power tariff is less. And there are a lot of incentives. Even India has to come forward like that. And now future these hydrogen and pump storages, renewables we are using, definitely we will compete to other nations of the developed nations.
Yes, but the question here is of cooperation and cooperative federalism. How much of that will be applied on you so that you get support of states and you also support them?
Definitely.
Non-BJP ruled states.
No, all states. Why? But there are so many industries has come in other states also. See, if you see last 5 years, there is no industry because there is no good atmosphere. Jagan Mohan Reddy spoiled Andhra Pradesh. There is no industry. All industries ran away. Now we have to bring all industries and we have to give good governance and good atmosphere. And most important, law and order.
And will you also ensure that opposition ruled states continue to govern? Because you have the case of Mr. Patil, whose party
always
who could not even continue in government.
Always, see, if you see how many states, majority of the states are ruled by NDA only, BJP government and NDA government, majority in the country.
Stability is
yes, but the ones that are not being ruled. आप पाटिल साहब कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे?
मैं अपने दोस्त से कहना चाहूँगा कि गए 10 साल में why industry did not grow? हमारे यहाँ पे तो एक इंडस्ट्री चले जा रही है, एक भी चीज नया से उभारी नहीं है। आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करें, कहाँ पे है? लेट मी नो वेयर इट इज। हमारे रूरल एरिया में हम देखते हैं कि कोई मूलभूत सुविधा जिसे बोलते हैं हम, एजुकेशन हो गया, आरोग्य का हो गया, ये भी चीजें अभी तक पूरी नहीं है।
लेकिन पाटिल साहब, बात बिजली सड़क पानी से तो आगे बढ़ी है ना?
कहाँ बढ़ी है?
कम से कम हम
खाली सड़क से आगे बढ़ी है,
एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं।
मैम खाली सड़क से आगे बढ़ी है, ना बिजली से आगे बढ़ी है, ना एजुकेशन से आगे बढ़ी है।
10 years before, you are not able to manufacture the cell phone. Now we are exporting the cell phone. And in the COVID
need of
vaccines,
people
we exported all over the world.
Get educate. There is no infrastructure, newly infrastructures in rural areas. The government, which जो उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट ने जो क्लासेस बनाया है, जो जिला परिषद हमारे यहाँ पे चलती है, जो गरीब लोगों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए पढ़ाई होती है, वो तो बंद होते जा रहा है। क्लासेस है 10 तक और आदमी है 3, बताओ कहाँ से पढ़ाएंगे लोगों को? अब वो तो मूलभूत तो है ही नहीं।
तो एनईपी कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करिएगा?
यार we should look after
आपके पास मैं आता हूँ, मुझे
फार्मर्स का ये देश है, फार्मर्स का।
My friend from down south Tamil Nadu, Arun Nehru, is wanting to make some point, waiting smilingly, patiently. आपके पास आता हूँ राजीव जी।
Thank you. I just wanted to share what I learned from the people during the the campaign and with my tenure before coming to politics from business. So the issue of employment has a multifaceted problem, right? So it just can't change in one day. It has to be cultivated from a long time.
That is a very pragmatic point to take.
One of the
things
things
be solved in one day.
So one of the things that we wanted to share, good lessons learned from the Dravidian model is this, that you focus on the education, you focus on the healthcare, and you focus on getting people trained for the tomorrow's world, right? So today you have Tamil Nadu as the leaders of innovation and as well as industrial growth. So I would want you to visit Tamil Nadu and see the number of men wanted or women wanted board across factories. All that we are trying to say is, we are not telling that we are the only one who can do this. All we are saying is, look, we have worked out a model. We have worked out a model where we educate children and we also put them into jobs, and the jobs is going to further fuel the country's growth. So a combination of these items, I think in this word, cooperative federalism, I think Tamil Nadu would be more than happy to be able to tell what works to the government, and we'll be very, very happy to share. So employment, it's not a single problem. It has a lot of attachments, social issues attached to it also. So my point is, I think there are a lot of good things that we can learn, right? For example, you can learn service from the Northeast. You can't beat them in service, right? Without them, the service industry never moves. So manufacturing, you have South, right? Food production, you have Andhra and Telangana, who have turned around completely well. So there are a lot of good facets that we can take and form this union, the real meaning of the union, right? Rather than taking bits and pieces, right? So certain initiatives of the last 10 years has been like, you put a factory, everything will be all right. No, it's not going to be all right. There's going to be a lot of overriding factors also, right? What's the use of earning money and then there's nothing around it to spend for? So I think it is also social, it's also psychological, and the government's role in it to ensure that everybody has an equal access for job creation. And for that, I think Tamil Nadu is better placed to tell others that a model is actually possible.
राजीव जी आप कुछ बोलना चाह रहे थे?
2-3 इशू हो गए.
जी जी आप दोनों तीनों पे बोले.
नहीं. First thing, thanks to my friend from TDP, he did not blame Nehru for unemployment today.
He is a very nice man.
No,
He is not blaming
take it in
anybody.
very light way. Abhi, my friend, twice of this country people have supported this government you formed, and not with absolute majority, but third time also you are in power. And you are saying that we all should support. What else support you want? As if you are creating job and you are stopping that. हमारे यहाँ तो डबल इंजन की सरकार है, और मैं आपसे भी पूछ रहा हूँ, आपके जर्नलिस्ट वहाँ होंगे, रिपोर्टर वहाँ होंगे. यूपी में he was talking about this all electricity problem. यूपी में 8 सालों से डबल इंजन है. 1 मेगावाट का अगर कहीं प्लांट बनाया हो, हमारे राष्ट्र अध्यक्ष जी पिछले 5 साल से पूछ रहे हैं, जिन प्लांट को हमने शुरू किया 1 मेगावाट अगर इन्होंने प्रोड्यूस किया हो तो बता दें, मैं कल पार्लियामेंट में नहीं आऊँगा. मेरे पूरे पूर्वांचल में एक इंडस्ट्री इन्होंने बनाया हो तो बता दें, हम नहीं आएंगे. पिछले 5 सालों में आप अपने रिपोर्टर को भी फोन करिए, एक बच्चे को सरकारी कहीं नौकरी मिली हो तो हम नहीं आएंगे. So when you talk big, try to put everything under carpet, you can't hide it for a longer time.
They have to think big.
Dr. Ramesh.
They have to think big.
They have to think big.
Every time you are not allowing.
See,
to
when we
complete.
discussed about so many bills has come, and you have seen in the 370, triple talaq, quite opposite parties, this AAP has supported 370.
But these were emotive issues. Let's come to
No,
the
say,
bread
say,
and butter.
everything for the development of the nation, for good for the
This
nation.
is very
Definitely,
so many things
their
are there.
parties will think, their leaders will think, their MPs will think, they will do.
Before I come back to you, राजीव जी, एक बार मैं रोहेल से और डॉक्टर रेकी से बात कर लूं. रोहेल, आपका क्या कहना है? देखिए, क्रिटिसिज्म अपनी जगह पे है, द फाइट फॉर डिग्निटी अपनी जगह पे है, एवरीथिंग. Obviously, there are challenges against with every decision that is of monumental proportions. All that is fine. As Mr. Ramesh said, that you take any decision, there will be politics. He's a seasoned man. He's not making these are not empty words. He's a seasoned man. He has seen life. When he's speaking, he makes a lot of sense. That is what life is. So, but what is the way forward when we talk of J&K or when we talk of youth across the country? You are yourself a very young man. What do you think? How do you sort of get past this jobs crisis in this country?
First of all, the name is Ruhullah, not Ruhail. So a little bit of correction, and I respect the fact that you have not heard this name before, so there can be this. Well, as you asked the question about J&K, let me be very blunt. There is, if you want to ask me the way forward, return us the 370 and give us the state back. Let us find our ways.
That is fine.
Let me
I agree with that. But my point is a larger point about the youth of J&K.
No, that's a larger
Surely
point.
the 370, return of 370 will not satisfy the youth of J&K.
No,
they will still need
that's
jobs.
for us to decide what will
but I'm saying
satisfy
they'll
us
still
or
need
not.
jobs.
The problem is you tend to decide staying in Delhi what satisfies the people of Jammu and Kashmir and what does not satisfy them. You never care to ask them what satisfies them. See, largely what's missing in Jammu and Kashmir, in the psyche of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, is the sense of dignity, sense of achievement. We do not have the sense of achievement. We have a sense of defeat. And this regime came
But tell me something, Rohilla. Tell me something. They abrogated Article 370 at a certain point. Okay? Before that, for that many number of years, for 7 decades, Article 370 was there. So at that point you had the sense of dignity. But the challenge of jobs, challenge of infrastructure,
we were doing better than UP, we were doing better than Gujarat, we were doing better than Haryana, we were doing better than many parts of this country.
But do you want to
take
say
that as a
youth
fact?
Does not want jobs?
Take that as a fact that the answer to unemployment.
There is no quarrel. I am saying.
Let me answer.
I am saying the point is that we can keep, as political persons, we can keep harping on a single point agenda. But issue here is bigger. Bigger issue is that how will the youth of J&K incorporated in mainstream?
We know, they know how to utilize their resources in order to create employment. So give the right to use their resources.
That is the point. That is fine. That is fine. Yeah.
That's what is the definition of 370. So let me complete. in your language. That's the definition of 370. They should decide, they know how to better utilize their resources in order to create jobs in their state. I cannot come and tell them in South that this is how you are going to create jobs in South. They know better than me. And that's what 370 is all about. See, in Jammu and Kashmir, after all this bragging of this government, there's no manufacturing unit that has come up in Jammu and Kashmir. There's no production that's happening in Jammu and Kashmir. There's no, push in economic activity of Jammu and Kashmir where you can say that this is the difference. Apart from tourism, and he'll come up with the statistics of tourism. I can quote you a couple of summers after the rise of militancy in 1990s, after the decade of 1990, during 2000 and 2000, the decade of 2010, we had multiple summers when we had tourists in millions. And this is not unprecedented.
CM Ramesh, quick response, and we have to start wrapping up this discussion.
Before 370, after 370. Before 370, how many tourists per year is visiting the Jammu Kashmir? Now, after 370, how many tourists are visiting Jammu Kashmir? Facts and figures are there. In the parliament, it is there. And immediate solution, it won't come immediately. Now, atmosphere has come good. You name it. All industrial companies are starting industries in Jammu and Kashmir. All 5-star hotels are coming for tourism. And automatically employment generation will come, people will happy, and more or Jammu Kashmir people will happy. They will get the their income more.
See, that is the point. See, there's a problem here.
You see the per capita power consumption before Article 370. Now, per capita power consumption has happened more now.
See, the problem here is that industries cannot come overnight. That is a challenge across the country. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, but I'll come back to you. The good doctor wants to make a point. I'll come back to you. Yes, the doctor, you wanting to say something?
Yeah, what I would like to say is this, that, again, coming back to the diversity of our nation, and in that diversity we see that in each and every nook and corner, we have our own strength, we have our own weaknesses. And I believe that, we have to look at where our strength lies. And that's where we should focus, okay? And so, like some friend has said,
wrapping up this conversation, Nikunj. And let's begin with, from Mr. Nehru, because all of you are first-time MPs, and when you will be making your first speech, it's going to be a very special one. Give us a glimpse of it. What will be the most important point that you'll be raising in your first speech?
I think, first of all, this is about a union of states, right? And this lies certain very fundamental principles. We are not going to talk about extraordinary things landing on the moon or landing in, reaching the deepest point of the ocean. We're going to talk about issues that is going to attach or affect a common man in his day-to-day lives, right? Simple things such as liberty, simple things such as freedom from fear or favor, and also the ability to innovate free of any apprehensions that the state might have. So all that we are saying is, let us be who we are, and we still can contribute to the country.
Yes, my friend, who was wanting to make a point very energetically, vigorously.
First, to correct their facts, that they have made it a habit to mislead the nation. And one such example
but that is not intention of Dr. Ramesh for sure.
I said they, not him. I didn't say
Dr.
him.
Dr. Ramesh is not that kind of a man.
And one such example is adding the pilgrims of Mata Vishnu Devi to the number of visitors coming to Jammu and Kashmir as
I take your point,
tourists.
But your first speech.
So this is
in Parliament.
Yeah.
Yes.
My first speech, as I said in the beginning, we have a bigger issue to deal with. Our identity, our existence, we have an existential crisis. We have a huge question mark. We need to, our relation with the Union of India is redefined, and redefined undemocratically now. So we need to either accept this undemocratic reality or fight back. So my course is the latter one. And the fact that, and the point that I want to make is what I made during my campaigning. My job in this tenure would be to speak, stand and work for the dignity of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, democracy of this country, diversity, respect for the diversity of this country, for dialogue between the states of Jammu and Kashmir and other states, and the central government and the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and the development of Jammu and Kashmir, which is not going to happen unless we have the
point
right
well
to
made.
decide for us.
Well made point. Well accepted as well. You know, fair point. Patil साहब,
मैं सबसे पहले तो मेरे स्पीच में सबसे पहले तो मैं फार्मर्स के लिए स्टैंड लूँगा, जो कि पूरे देश में हलचल मची है। एमएसपी रहनी चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट ने एमएसपी का ये पुरस्कार लेना चाहिए। अपना देश ये फार्मर्स के लिए जाना जाता है और ही इज़ अ किंग ऑफ आवर नेशन। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फार्मर्स शुड बी स्टेबल, और दूसरा तो यूथ which is a hope of our country, and he is a new generation is our hope, and he is our वो अपना भविष्य है, तो उसके लिए भी मैं रोजगार के लिए
needs us is the message that is coming in. Please go ahead, sir.
नहीं और मिनट।
हाँ, आप खत्म करें।
और जो भी हमारे यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र में बहुत सारा जो क्राइसिस चल रहा है, वो जो जाति न्याय जनगणना होनी चाहिए और उसके आधार पे आरक्षण का मुद्दा भी खत्म होना चाहिए। और जो भी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है या फिर मूलभूत सुविधा है, जो इरिगेशन है और जो पीने का पानी है, उसके लिए मैं पहले भाषण में अपने पॉइंट्स रखना चाहूँगा। थैंक यू।
राजीव जी,
मैं भी जो आपके सामने बात कह रहा था, पहले तो मुझे दो फ्रंट पर लड़ना है, नॉट इन पार्लियामेंट बट विद यू पीपल आल्सो आई हैव टू एक्सप्लेन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द डेवलपमेंट। आपने बोल दिया कि कास्ट को डेवलपमेंट को साथ नहीं रहा। जब बीजेपी जीते तो डेवलपमेंट की जीत है और चाणक्य की रणनीति है। कंक्लूड मी, ऑल द सेगमेंट्स आर नॉट अलाउड मी टू कम, सॉरी, आई डोंट टेक मच टाइम, आई एम अ प्रोफेसर, आई स्पीक इन फ्यू वर्ड्स।
प्लीज।
तो उस चीज़ से झूठ से लड़ना है। मैं आईना ये पार्लियामेंट में फैक्ट एंड फिगर के साथ दिखाऊंगा कि जिसको डेवलपमेंट कहते हैं। मैंने आपसे सवाल कुछ पूछा और चाहूँगा कि अगले डिबेट में मैं आपके चैनल में आऊँगा, अपने रिपोर्टर से पूछ के रखिएगा कि डेवलपमेंट कहाँ दिखता है, किस मोहल्ले में, मैं भी जाकर माथा टेक लूँगा। हमारा जो मैंने कहा, मेरा नॉट ओनली द फर्स्ट स्पीच टिल द लास्ट डे ऑफ माई दिस टेन्योर, बदहाल बुनकर, बेहाल किसान, बेरोजगार नौजवान। हमारे यहाँ बुनकरों के लिए राहत देने के लिए हमारी सपा गवर्नमेंट में नेताजी ने 72 रुपीज़ फ्लैट बिजली दे दिया था, जिससे वो लोग, बाहर तो नौकरी नहीं मिलती है, कम से कम अपना परिवार पालते थे। आप जॉब देने की बात करें, जॉब छीनने के लिए सरकार ने बिजली का बिल को 8 गुना बढ़ा दिया, 9 गुना बढ़ा दिया। रोजगार, बच्चे बेरोजगार हो गए, पलायन कर रहे हैं। हमारे यहाँ जरी का काम होता था, वो बंद हो गया। आप विकास की इंडस्ट्री की बात करते हैं, जो चल रहा था उसको भी बंद कर दिया। तो इस झूठ को बेनकाब फैक्ट एंड फिगर के साथ करूंगा, पहले से आखिरी तक।
Definitely I will speak, I will utilize my maiden speech, but it is a suspense. I don't want to reveal now. Definitely it will be good for the country, good for nation.
Okay.
In my first speech, actually the financial status of our state, it is in a very heavy crunch. We are even unable to pay salaries to the employees, state government employees, and our state mainly we doesn't have a capital. I want to focus mainly on the financial status of the state and also about our capital. And according to our professor friend said, we don't want to criticize anybody and we won't criticize anybody. As our leader is such a strong person, he ever says we should look for the development, neither criticizing the people. You can see even in our election these things also, we never criticized. We went in a positive manner to the people and we were elected in a tremendous way. Our total NDA people were elected in Andhra Pradesh. Thank you.
Doctor, final word to the good doctor.
Yeah. So I think upholding the Constitution, both in letter and spirit, is very important at this juncture, and also to ensure that our country is free from corruption. Yeah, I believe this is one of the root cause of the ills that we are facing in this nation. So I believe that all the 543, MPs in this 18th, Lok Sabha, will stand together to fight against corruption. And I believe that if we can do that, of course, it's not easy, but I tell you, as a party, Voice of the People Party, we fought this election. I think I'm proud to say that we are a party who, when people said, can you fight election without money? We said, yes, we can do it. Why? Because we know that God Almighty, He is there. Nothing is impossible with Him. So this is my message.
So one line I would say that the common thread you see is development, it's jobs, and it is cooperative federalism. These are the three things that are development, jobs, cooperative federalism. Maria, closing words to you, my friend.
So, Nikunj, you know, 7 MPs who are just reflecting what 543 issues which will be heard in our 18th Lok Sabha. These are MPs who represent 12 to 15 lakh individuals, 12 to 15 lakh people. Truly, it is the House of Representatives, and that's why it's called the Lok Sabha. And with that, it's a wrap from Nikunj and me. We'll be covering this Lok Sabha very, very closely. It will be about oath-taking, not much of an action, but certainly it will be interesting to see because the dynamics, as they say, of the 18th Lok Sabha has changed.
Absolutely. As I said, I started that this is the beginning of a new political churn in this country, and you are all lucky to be participants in that, and we are lucky to be witnessing it and reporting about it.
Okay, with that, it's a wrap from us. Thank you so much. We will be covering this session of Parliament very, very closely, and we will be back here at Vijay Chowk with another episode, another news coverage. Thanks so much for watching.